Hi, this is Kevin Thomas, and welcome to the At Home Film Festival. This week we're taking a look at women in peril. I try to just do people in peril, but I mostly found movies with women in peril. But it goes back to the beginning of films. The most historic scenes of women in peril were when they were tied to a train track. Women have come a long way, so let's take a look at 7 women. Many of them fight back and get themselves out of these situations without having to rely on a man. What do we have in store? Let's go now. The first movie on our list is Gloria with Jenna Rollins, who was Oscar nominated in 1980 for this film. Don't mix it up with the remake or any other movies called Gloria, because this is the best one. So Jenna becomes a woman in peril because she is a tough gun moll, but her best friend's family is murdered because they witnessed a crime by the mob. But you know what? She's like married to the mob, almost literally. So she has to decide if she is going to be a woman who saves the one child who lives, or just placates it looks like she, I guess, wants to save the kid, because look at her fighting there. So Gloria's in peril because the mob is after her, but she is not going to let this kid die, even though she hates kids. There's one great scene that I particularly love I'm going to show you. So you could watch this scene and then watch the whole movie on the Criterion channel for free. Let's see my favorite scene, okay? Okay, Gloria's stuck on the subway with a bunch of mob people. What's she going to do? How's she going to get away? What's going to happen? Let's watch. Shut up, Kevin. Ooh. There's the kid.
Go ahead, John. Just let it. Okay. Okay. This is your little woman beat, huh? You little tiny nothing. You punk. Go ahead, punk.
Okay, let's go way back to the movie Gaslight, which won Ingrid Bergman an Oscar. You could find it on Prime for free and the Criterion channel. And although this is an old movie, we all use the term now gaslight. It came from the play that this movie was based upon. Back in the old days, the lamps there's no electricity. They used to turn them on with a gas lamp, literally. So Ingrid Bergman's husband is driving her crazy, thinking she's crazy, because he keeps adjusting the level of the lamps and having things like we do today when we say, oh my God, I got gaslighted. It came from this movie. It's nail-biting. Ingrid's amazing. It's very suspenseful. It's macabre-like. It's really well photographed for black and white. It's, oh, wow. Whew. So if you want to see the original Gaslighter, here it is, okay? Then talk about suspense. Let's talk about Sorry, Wrong Number, which you could find on Pluto. It literally has a woman that's in peril because she's an invalid. She can't move. She hears on the phone a murder being plotted, and she tries to be able to try to help who's ever going to be killed. Maybe it's her. Oh, but she can't move. She can't do anything but use the phone. Oh my God, Barbara Stanwyck is amazing. She was up for an Oscar for this movie. Burt Lancaster isn't as nice as he always is, but oh my God, you talk about peril. Sorry, wrong number. As long as we're nail biting and looking at movies with Oscar nominations, A Sudden Fear with Joan Crawford. This is as exciting as her Oscar-winning Mildred Pierce. And by the way, it takes place in San Francisco. But she plays a very successful woman who meets the man of her dream, Jack Palance, who was also Oscar nominated. He may be after her money. She's in peril. She doesn't realize at the beginning. Who wouldn't think some man that falls in love with you only wants your money? But oh, the things that she finds out and the length she goes to stop herself from being murdered. Oh no, look at that. It's Sudden Fear. Oh, it's so good. Oh, these are all mysteries, really. I'm getting like tense just watching this. Oh no. Oh, Joan is so good. And I will say it's a great film noir and is not over the top in her acting. She's often even good over the top. This is more gritty. So keep that in mind. I include Midnight Lace maybe a little too often. This will be my final time. You can find this movie often on the Criterion channel and TCM. But you talk about women in peril, we got Doris Day, who we always know from those sweet movies, and she sings Que Sera. She doesn't sing in here. She plays a woman in London whose husband gets transferred there for work. She keeps getting phone calls and threats, but no one believes her because there's never anybody at the end of the phone line. There's never anybody at the scene of the crime. Is it in her head? Doris Day was so afraid when she made this movie that she vowed she would never make another drama or suspenseful film again because this terrified her just making this film. By the way, John Gavin's in it too. He's super sexy. I like John Gavin. Yeah, Rex Harrison's in it as well, but I like John Gavin. We're getting a little more modern now. It's because today's woman doesn't get herself stuck in peril. She gets out of it. But back in the day, Julia Roberts did Sleeping with the Enemy, which you could find on Showtime or Paramount Plus's Showtime, where she was a happily married woman, well, on the surface, happily married woman, but everything had to be perfection. Her husband wouldn't even allow the towels to be in disarray on the shelf. She was a trophy wife, and unfortunately, a trophy does not want to always stay on the shelf. Check this movie out. It's really good. It's a nail biter too, of course, and Julia is very, very good. It's not her typical romantic comedy, which we've gotten used to over the years. J-Lo also breaks out of the rom-com mold when she made Enough in the early 2000s, which you could find on Peacock. So she plays a wife who just had enough. Her husband expects so much of her. He's physically and emotionally violent to her. She just gets out of Dodge. Well, you know, in these movies, they always find them, but that's okay because she takes it on. She is going to fight back, not just in his head. She is going to actually physically fight back. So watch out for J-Lo, because once she puts those boxing gloves on, there's no stopping her because she has had enough. Well, that's our show of the week. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you share and comment below and come back next week. Is there any movies in Peril that I forgot? But The Woman in Peril is really a big theme. It's even been spoofed many times. There's a Doritos commercial that has woman on a train track. Here we have Miss Piggy holding on for her dear life when she's being put in peril. Anyway, you watch along and I will catch you next week, okay? Bye-bye. Peril.